on government officials insist.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Sisamira in podcast with me, Asma Sitole. On today's episode, we're going to be delving into the world of art. Art is a very vast and very diverse field that encompasses creativity, expression, and cultural significance through using different forms of mediums and traditions. Over the years, we've seen the rise of digital art, more especially as we are in this fourth digital revolution. However, what does it mean for an artist? I'll be joined by Honolulu Columbus, who's a Dubai based hyperrealism artist, and he's going to be telling us and giving us insights into this creative world. Honolulu Columbus, shukran for joining me. Do you mind introducing yourself to my viewers and listeners?
I am Onoha Columbus, as you have mentioned already, from Nigeria, a multi-talented artist and a hyper-realistic artist. That's all I have to say for now.
Do you mind defining to us of what is art?
Okay, art is bigger than what we call art. Art is not just someone that paints or sculpts or do poetry. Art, from my own definition, art is self-expression through a given medium. When you talk about self-expression, is what is inside you are trying to show, but which medium are you giving it through? Example, this is a canvas. I'm expressing what is inside me or what I'm seeing. Nobody can know it until I interpret it here. A dancer is an artist. They are hearing a tone they want to express. So they are using the medium called dancing or the stage to showcase what is inside them. A singer has a rhythm inside their heart. They want to show maybe through guitar, which is a medium, or through the microphone. So that's why I said art is a self-expression through a given medium. Okay, for me, that's what I used to say. I say when you see my art, you've seen my heart. I don't get satisfied with good. When people say it's good, no. I want to show the reality in what I'm seeing. Like sometimes I'm painting, people will tell me, oh, this is good. And I know perfection is an illusion. That's one of the things I have in my mind. Perfection is an illusion. Where you stop is where some people start. Understand? Where you think is your end is people's beginning. So I pour out everything I have on my painting. I pour out my heart, my emotion, and everything. Like, I don't know how to say it, but I resonate with my life on my paintings. Understand? That's why I see hyperrealism as the best thing I can be doing. I do other kind of art, but I enjoy doing it real.
And you are well known for your hyperrealism paintings. So, do you mind taking us through of why hyperrealism paintings and what does it mean to you? And what does it mean actually for you to be a hyperrealism artist?
Okay, that's a good question. I always talk some things from my own story. I started doing art, and the first thing that comes to my mind is making it real. Some people stop somewhere, and some people, where they are stuck, become a masterpiece. But when we talk about hyper realistic art, there are different kinds of hyper realism. They have photorealism, they have hyper realism, and they have realism. When you talk about hyper realism, Hyperrealism goes beyond the picture, whereby an artist paints what picture cannot see. When you talk about photorealism, that just normal painting that you just see, oh wow, oh I thought it's a photo. Realism is just normal, oh it's so real. Photorealism is like they don't even know it's a painting. But hyperrealism is the one that the more you come closer, the more it seems like you are seeing something come closer. Texture is no more flat, it's more thick, understand? So I think it's good to educate people about this because they call everything hyperrealism. Hyperrealism. Understand? When you come to the field, you will understand the difference. I've done photorealism, I've done realism, and I've done hyperrealism. Hyperrealism is the one that has no end. That's why the more you come closer to the work, the more you see things that you don't know it is on that work, especially texture and expression.
Having so much interactions with artists, I see them, using different mediums. Some of them, it's very textured, some of them is very, shiny or glossy, one will call it. So what is your form and preferred form of medium?
That's a good question. First of all, I use all medium. I can paint with all medium. Let me use that word. But what I like using in my hyperrealism or my works is oil color, oil paint. Some people call it oil paint. So I think it's more better, smoother. Although some people avoid it because of the chemical formula. It's something you don't like to keep around children so they don't swallow it. But for me, from my research, is the best to use for hyperrealism. Acrylic is also good, but for me, this is what I preferred. I prefer oil color. But I can work with all mediums: pastel, oil pastel, acrylic, gloss paint, all of them, watercolor, all of them. I work with them, but this is what I prefer.
Growing up, I know we have so much inspiration behind us that led us or leads us to the professions that we are currently, doing. However, what was the inspiration behind your talent and more especially delving into, the art space?
First of all, I find myself doing this art. I don't even know what it is, but it's something I was doing and I was enjoying doing it. So in the beginning, I was just being me. Understand? I was just doing something I like. But I started seeing the value and inspiration as like I started loving it when I started seeing when people are like saying, wow. It's like a fish swimming in the water and you're clapping for the fish. Fish is like, why are they clapping? Understand? I don't know. It's so people's appreciation became an inspiration to me before I started getting other inspirations. Other inspirations started coming from nature. I can be looking at the mountain or nature, see how the wind is going. I'm like, imagine painting all these things moving like this. Funny enough, portrait, I like human being. Whenever I look at beautiful people, I see human being like beautiful creation. When I'm looking at them, that's the way I'll look at you. You'll be like, why is this guy looking at me like this? I'm looking at the way your nose look. I'm thinking about how it look in painting. So looking at what God have created on earth inspires me a lot because we are all co-creators. We are all co-creators. Maybe you are creating in your own field, but whenever I look at people, I look at beautiful people, I see the way their hair is going, I'm like, oh, this will go well in painting. Sometimes I paint feelings when I see people going through something. I try to visualize it in a painting, talking about this and the solution. I always think about solution. Whatever I'm thinking about solution. I'm putting smile on people's face. I think that's a good inspiration.
With you coming from Nigeria and with me, coming from South Africa, um, the creative space is not much or well appreciated as much as it should be. And what are the challenges that you faced, more especially, growing up into a very developing country and that has so minimal of resources for you to, to create your art? So what are those challenges that you face and how did you overcome them?
Okay. As I said before, I just saw myself doing this without knowing it will be my life career, which I've chosen. I was doing it, and when other kids are playing, I notice I'm more doing things of craft. If I'm not building a house with the sand, I'm plotting things together. If not, I'm not doing it, I'm drawing something on the floor, on the ground, on the sand. So I notice whenever I'm doing it, people are gathering. But like the question he asked, that's where I want to point. I've never gotten a support. In fact, I was threatened to stop this because our African parents, they don't understand the value. The tribe I'm coming from in Nigeria, called Igbos, they want you to be a business person. They want you to go and learn business. They want you to go to the field, or they want you to be a doctor. They want you to be an engineer. So whenever they see you doing stuff like that, they're like, sometimes they whoop me for drawing. And guess what? Those things they were doing to me, I don't know how God was. I will make the day. But when they started giving me some chances, is when they now noticed that even in the school, I make some little money as a little boy, which I used to support by some things my parents could not buy, like exercise book for writing. They noticed that I can also buy it. So they started finding a little interest. But that doesn't mean they supported me. They're like, okay, leave him if he's giving him something. But they never supported it. Understand? But I don't see it as a bad thing. I thank God they didn't, because most of what I'm doing now came from those rejection and not accepting. Understand? How I manage color came from I couldn't afford colors. Understand? And I have to beg people for little color. Now I manage color. I've not seen an artist that manage color like me. Understand? The way I use brush professionally came from nobody could buy brush from me. Those time I use broomstick. I use my teeth and create it like a brush. So if I could paint with such difficulty, now using a brush is nothing for me. When people come to learn from me, they notice the way I use brush effortlessly. So all those things are still part of the story. Understand? So I thank God they didn't accept it. And I am what I am today.
We have seen the rise of, digital art. Like they started off with NFTs. I don't hear so much about them lately. However, when we're slowly transitioning into this digital era, we're introduced to, to prompts. One can actually put like a prompt into an AI system that will create them an image that they want. So, what is your take with regards to AI, more especially in this creative field?
I love that question because I've done a video concerning AI when I see some artists giving up, say no need to be painting, and no need to be stressing ourselves buying colors. And I made some videos to encourage people. Whenever I see problem, whenever I see problem, this is the secret of the worldly people. Worldly people look for problem to solve. Understand? Because whenever they solve the problem, they make money. That's why people set up some kind of issues in the country so that there will be the solution and they make money. So when I see AI, people are seeing it as a problem. I didn't see it from that angle. I was seeing it from another angle. I'm seeing AI. AI is helping me. Okay, maybe I'm doing this painting. You said you need a dove to be here. You need this to be here. I can use AI and design it and do my work. And I told our other artists, I told them, it's making work easy for you. Now there are more references to paint. Before we are searching for a lot of references. Sometimes we are thinking about how it will be. Why not you use AI? Stop stressing your mind. Use it for other things. Use AI and formulate what you want to paint. And I said one thing powerful. I said AI can never replicate your fingerprint. AI painting can never be Honor Columbus collection. It can never be. AI, no matter what it do, very nice. That's a great idea. It also comes from God. It's not evil. Understand? But what am I trying to say? Use AI for good. It can never be you. People that want to buy my paint cannot say no need to buy his paint. We have AI. AI is not me. AI can never be me. Understand? Use it as a source of inspiration. Use it as a challenge to work harder, knowing that something more than that will come. Nobody knows something like this will come. Something more than that, more real than that. It's even getting more better. The AI is getting more better. Look for a way to use it and do your work. It's what is needed in this season. So look for a way to use it to work. Understand? Yeah. So I encourage all creatives to see AI not like bad side. Then the graphics people are thinking no need to create when they have AI. My dear, there is something in you that is so unique that AI cannot do. That's the deceit that we don't know. Someone said, okay, AI said, don't worry, don't do your work. Let me do it for you. Go and do the homeworks. I told AI, go and do the homework for me. Let me do my work. Understand? That's what I said to AI. AI, you should do the homeworks for me so I can be doing my work. But for you to say to do my work, I can do homework. No way. So if you want to do my work, do it. I'm doing mine. Me is me. Understand? Yeah. So AI is my friend, not my enemy.
With you mentioning that art can be anything, it can be anything creative, and I can testify that you are a very multi-talented person. I remember meeting you at the Sharjah African Literature Festival, and the next moment you were storytelling, the next moment you were doing drums and so forth. So, what other talents that you have that we haven't really seen yet from you?
Okay. I will still go back to the art, then I go to the other part that is not art. When you come to art alone, I've I've been doing a lot of things. Even the clothes I'm wearing was customized by me. I'm also into fashion. Fashion. I customize clothes, customize the bag, like draw things or create some things. I do necklaces. I can remember when I used to do recycling, using all those coconut shell to create some necklaces. That's part of things I will be doing in Dubai soon. I create some unique stuff. I do sculpture, I do ceramics, I do craft, a lot of them. That's in art. Then when you go to the other side, I'm a dancer, I'm a storyteller, I'm a guitarist. I play guitar. I'm a singer, I'm a producer, music producer. And whatever I'm doing, I don't do them in a lower form. No, I do it well. They say jack of all trades. I say I'm master of all I do. I rather don't get into it than to be having it. Understand? I rather don't get into it than to be having it. Some people are like, focus on one. I know what I'm focusing on. Focus on yours, leave me. In the parable of the talents, what I learned from there is God give according to your capacity. The gift were not given by myself. It was given by God. If God put it in me, He knows my capacity. So all I need is right management. Not no, leave music, focus on art. That's the wrong advice. I know I did. I tried. I listened to people that are higher than me. Oh, if they can see this, that's true. And I was frustrated. Now some people call me for art events. They also say, Columbus, I also want you to do some playing guitar in the event. They work together. After when I went to school, it was the money I was making from music I used to train myself in art school. See how they are working together.
Mm.
So that's it. I do a lot of things. The one I remember is one I just mentioned.
Yes, you got me thinking of the iconic Museum of the Future that has the Arabic calligraphy, and I had a privilege to actually, meet Mata bin Lahij, who's the Arabic calligrapher, who's also multi-talented, who's an artist, and I remember asking him that. What made him delve into calligraphy? And he made it clear that no, I do various things. I don't just do Arabic calligraphy. And I remember visiting his studios, art studio, and I could tell that no, he's not doing only calligraphy. And that goes back to you as well, whereby you mentioned that you do many things. And I remember coming across or meeting with you in person, at the Sharjah African Literature Festival. You were one thing, you were storytelling, the next thing you were doing drums, and you're telling me that you're a producer now. So the world needs to appreciate people like you, because you are very creative, and whenever your creativity is put it into the world stage, you get recognized by that. So many artists emerging, always so many artists that we are seeing, more especially, when I was attending the World Art Dubai 2025 last week, I saw so many talents, so many art. It was very actually impressive. So do you believe in collaboration, more especially with artists?
Okay, in terms of partnering with people, it's one of the things I've longed for. But before I partner with people, I look for people that has the same vision. We may not be doing the same thing, but having the same vision board, the same open mind, the same good spirit, believing that we are not in competition. If you noticed, a lot of it's difficult to see me going for art contest or art competition. It's difficult to see me going there because a cheetah doesn't go for animal race to prove himself as the fastest animal. Everybody knows we are faster, fastest or whatever. So I partner with people that have a positive mindset, have a great vision. We create something, we have an idea, let's achieve this. That is the kind of people I partner with. Understand? Yeah. I'm always open for partnership.
With you growing up in Nigeria and with me coming from South Africa, we know that, whenever you're talking about you want to be an artist, you're like, your parents will definitely, take it out of you. And the only preferred societal professions that you had to do is like being an engineer, a nurse, or a doctor, or a lawyer. And those were societal standards, and they were instilled in us. So, and with you taking us through the challenges that you had to undergo and how much you had to prove to your parents that this is the way of how you can make your own living by, taking that leap and taking that road of becoming a creative person or an artist. So what advice would you give, to parents, more especially if their children might possess the attributes of becoming an artist and maybe one day well known for their iconic art, let it be like any form of art?
It's good that your parents will support you. It's very important. It's very vital in life. Most of the things I struggle now are foundational stuff, things I saw when I was little. But if you don't get the support from them, also believe also in yourself and trust God. That is a reason why your parents did not support you. That is a you in you he want to create. Understand? That is a you in you that God want to create. Now you don't need supporters, so you will get to that shape and figure that he wants. Someone like me that doesn't get support from parents. It didn't stop me. Those people that were supported, they still come to me to learn. So, but it's very vital that you help your children. It reduces workload for them. Allow most I don't tell kids to disobey their parents. Sometimes what they can see, you can't see it. Sometimes the artist they know is a very struggling artist, so they don't want their child to go through the same way. Understand? But what I always tell people is show them proof that your vision is different. Example, when I started my music career, people around there, people that was looking at, people that have gone in the industry, we are messing up. So my parents are like, no, you are too good to be a musician. We don't want you to mess up. What I did is I promised them that I will be a musician that will have a good record. If nobody have done it, let me be the one. So most time, if your parents are not supporting you, give them a promise and start working on the promise. They will look at you and see that you are showing another figure or picture of what they thought. You can change it. Understand? So if they don't support you, support them. Support them. Prove to them that you know what you are seeing and make them proud. Make them proud. I can remember at a point in life when my father have seen the light of what I was saying, he don't have money. What he did is he saw that I want to go to the university with my own money. He called me one day. He said he has been saving this money, very little talking. He put it in my hand. He said, I'm giving you this as a token and as a commitment and as a blessing that money will never lack in your hand until you are done with this school. I can't support you, but this is like a blessing. So this is now showing that if he has everything, he will give it to me. Understand? That means the support is now. Why did he come up to this level? Because he has seen all the things that are trying to stop you from. You've gone far and you're doing it well. So now they are up to support you. He started supporting me in prayer, best wishes, which is good for me. So parents, always listen to your children, rub mind with them, correct them if they are going in the wrong way, but make sure you allow them to do what they love. A lot of lawyers, they are rich, but they are not satisfied. They are depressed because they are not doing what they are called for. They have become what their parents want them to be, but are not happy. So people are doing their job, but are not doing their work. Your work is what depresses you. What makes you sad every Monday morning is your work, is your job. But your work is what you are born for. What you do, you love it. What even if you are not paid, you will not stop. Understand? So let parents support their kids with their work, what they are born for.
And what are the emerging trends that we're going to be seeing, more especially in the art world?
I think I'm noticing that the rejected stone is becoming the cornerstone now. Um, most of if you notice now, most country are putting mind in sustainability. Sustainability, recycling. You see, recycled art is becoming something now more than the AI that is so famous. AI is there, it's digital. You can just, anything that is common doesn't make more sense. But you see, picking some stuff from the ground to create something now is becoming something that is being valued everywhere. Understand? So, whatever you're doing in art now, think about sustainability. Even if you don't want to do from glass to grace, from pit to palace art, which is picking from ground and making some things. Think about art that you will create that will bring solution in the society. Society is crying out for help now. So, whatever you're doing, try to create something that will bring value, solution, or help to the society. You can do art. They say talent is not enough. You can create an art whereby you are doing it for raising fund. Your art, raising fund for the orphanage home, and you say that 90%, 80% or 50% is going for orphanage home. Understand? Now it's not just about people appreciating your art, but let your art be incorporating with the idea of bringing solution. You can do a painting that can bring solution to war, to stop. You can paint something that will make people feel pitiful, to stop a war. You can paint something that will bring solution. However, just be creative because the world, people are being more creative now than before. Before you can be a lazy artist and you're making money. Now you have to be a hard working and a smart work artist. So I think that's the advice I will give to all creatives now. Be very creative. Creativity is not about drawing, it's about even in business. Be creative, both even in selling. Also sell. So you don't get frustrated. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what made you delve into human portraits?
Because I love portraits, I do portraits. If I want to create new thing, if I want to paint the scene of UAE, if I don't put portrait there, I'm not too satisfied. But I paint everything. I enjoy painting everything. Sometimes you see me painting falcon. Sometimes you see me painting houses, very hyper realistic. Sometimes you see me painting landscape. But I don't know why I love painting my human face. Because I realized it's one of the most difficult part of art. When I came to the music industry, I noticed lead guitar, electric guitar was the hard part. I said I love the hard part. I like I like fighting the hard battle. I don't know why. Maybe it's part of my calling. So when I notice many people find it difficult to paint portraits, I said that here you go. Here you go. And guess what? I conquered it. Now people think about portrait, they think about me. And I'm getting better, better, better every day. And I'm enjoying it. It have never been a stress. How do you know it has never been a stress? Most of these are my personal work. But you can wake up in the night, midnight, 2, 3. You see me painting. That's passion, and passion is powerful than death.
What are the milestones you have for yourself in the next coming 2 to 5 years?
And one of the great things that will happen in the creative industry, I want to be an inspiration to generations. I'm not facing, I'm chasing after fame. I'm chasing after impact. I'm chasing after impact. I want creativity to be something that will be well appreciated in the whole world. So I want to be a picture that people will look at and they will believe I can make it. I want my story to be a story that when people look at it, people that are coming from low life, people that are not getting support, will look at me and say, I can make it. If this guy can make it to this point. As I said, I want to be the best thing to happen in the creative industry.
For those who are inspired by your work, how can they get hold of you if they want to maybe have their, portraits painted by you?
People can come from social media for now, yeah. If they want a physical meeting, we can have a physical meeting, but they can find me on Instagram. They can find me from TikTok. I can send my contacts. Yeah, they should follow me and write me. I'll respond. If it's
All
business,
right.
I love business. Know her Columbus, or just search Art King. I made the Art King for it to be easy. If you just search Art King, you can see me on Instagram. But Onoha Columbus is my name and it's my brand name. I'm just using that name. Understand? Onu Oha, Onuuha. Then Columbus, Columbus. Yeah. If you search it on any social media, you will find me. Yeah, from there, write me, I'll respond to you. If you want my contact, I give you contact.
I attended World Art Dubai, and I've got to interact with some of the artists, and some art were inspired by culture, tradition. Some were encouraged by women empowerment and resilience, and some of them were inspired, by societal challenges that we're facing in our respected countries, and some, they were inspired by stillness, by reflection. So let's hear what they have to say about their artwork and what inspired them.
The the reason that it's a limited palette is because I want to highlight the women, and then the rest is all black, but it's all different levels of black. She's also encased in a circle, so that the whole circle means power and strength, but also safety. So she is within that bubble, and all of them have these circles. The exhibition is about fragility, but strength as well, but specifically for women. And I've used beads, like spiky beads, which is very much like you can look but not to touch. And I've used butterflies for everything because they look so fragile, but they're actually not. They're strong little individuals. And feathers because feathers have the spine in the middle, which keeps the feather together. In the same way as like bees, I've used bees as well, because we can't do without bees in the country, in the world, because otherwise there wouldn't be very much of us about. But the same goes for women. We need women, and we're so undervalued at times. And this is why I'm trying to bring sort of symbols within my artwork, so that it's not just a pretty picture with nice butterflies and beads on it. They actually mean something, because the one at the end there, it's mirrored, so with mirrored beads. So whenever you go in front of it, you're actually bringing some color into it. So even though she's in, the limited color, if you stand in front, you can see all the colors that you're now highlighting for yourself. So you're mirroring.
Journey. It could be yours, it could be mine. So I left India, I mean, in a very favorable circumstances, but I still had to leave it, right? And I was like, and now here I'm so accepted, so loved. And when looking back, I feel I'm loved, right? But when I left, it took that courage to come. And the journey is all about that courage. So if you see that board behind, that represents humans' courage, and all you see is waters and maps. And also the important thing is, like, if you look back, the country UAE has been established because some of the forefathers decided to far the sea, go face the storms, and then find a land and then establish a country. So it's all about that courage, resilience, and going beyond the horizon, beyond what you can see. You can see these waves are going anywhere, and that's the way you find. And this
Yeah. So this piece is called the Big Banyan Tree. So the Big Banyan Tree is a large tree which evolves over a period of time and put its prop roots over all its objects around, and it sits as one single tree with a large network of stuff. Now here, this represents a large ecosystem which is evolved as a consumerist market with 95% discount sale. Don't miss it today, last chance. That drives it all, right? So this makes a big, large banyan tree, and we all live in that shadows. So it's about that.
Italy, and I was in Venetian Carnival, like festival, and it impressed me. Every year in May there are Venice festival, Carnival.
So for me, yeah, you're fine. So for me, when I started building the story, obviously we knew that it's one room, and something that I really like about people peeping into people's lives, to me it's special. I just feel, because it's us as being invasive, intrusive, we constantly wanting to know what about other people's lives. So that is something that's really fitting in my scheme of things now. But obviously I don't like to repeat myself. So when that happened, then I said, okay, what do I do? Then see, the thing is, I always feel that when you believe in something, the universe really aligns. So some thoughts actually come to you rather than you going to them constantly. Yeah, they do. So I thought of something called collision of memories. So I said, what is that? I said, let me just get this mix of furniture and let me wrap with photos. So that's
You know what, Columbus, shukran for taking us through your artwork. It's been amazing, and the art world is very interesting, and I wish people can, delve into art. It's very inspirational as well. So from me here at Sisa Media Inc., I say shukran.